Yo, shalom, shalom. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Grace and peace be unto the 12 tribes. I pray everybody's having a good day so far. Today we are going into the Gospels, Matthew chapter 22. I pray everybody's having a good afternoon so far. If you're glad to be in here, go ahead and let me get a hey, shalom to the 12. Peace be with you. Like I said, we're gonna cover the Gospels. Let me give a shout out to who's in this afternoon. You see Eulasia and Decarius are in the building. Sarah and Katrina, glad to see y'all here as well. Good afternoon, good afternoon. And Ata Ray, I don't know how to pronounce it. Hopefully I said it right, but hey, what's going on with you? Peace be with you. Hopefully all is good. And everybody that's in, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you are trying to continue to push the gospel, you want to spread the word, you want to make sure our people understand and learn who they are, what their culture is, and how they are supposed to behave for the rest of their lives. Make sure you share this. If you want to share this, you want revolution, then get this out here. We cannot sit idly by while the word's coming out, and we are not trying to encourage others to engage in this as well. So let's get ready to dive on into it. Let's first get to Matthew chapter 26, verse 6, and we're going to get into the lesson. Matthew chapter 26, verse 6. Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of ointment, a very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this woman have done be told for a memorial of her. So whenever we bring out the message of Jesus Christ, the gospel was spread to the four corners of the earth. The gospel or them laws and instructions that were given to the children of Israel. We know those children of Israel are the people who are the descendants of slaves, the ones we call black, the ones we call Negro. You know, those people, whenever we bring out this message, telling that group of people to keep the law, statutes, commandments until the day they die, because that's how we serve our God and show him that we are sorry for how we have been, how we've carried ourselves for all this time. Whenever we bring out this message and give it to those people, we are always going to remember the woman, put the ointment on the body of our Messiah, the black Messiah, Jesus the Christ. All right. Without further ado, let's get on into it. Let's go ahead and let's go to Daniel chapter 7. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7. And like I said, I love the telling of Christ, the telling of the coming of Christ. I like to dive into that. Why? Because a lot of us, one, don't understand that Christ was all throughout the scriptures. Two, it's important for us to look forward to what will be here for us, what's in store. And a lot of us don't know what's in store. They don't know who is going to be leading, who's going to be ruling forever and ever. So to give people to understand who's ruling forever and ever, let's go ahead and, like I said, let's touch on these prophecies. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7, and I will start at verse 11. Oh, 11. No. Actually, no. Let me get verse. Yeah, I'll get verse 10. Verse 10. Daniel chapter 7, verse 10. Matter of fact, nope. Nah, I'm start 13. Verse 13. All right. Hey, by the way, I forgot to ask everybody. Whoever's in the lesson. If the sound is good, put a 1 in the chat. The sound is good, put a 1 in the chat. If you're having trouble hearing, put a 4 in the chat. And if the sound bites come through, put a 4 in the chat. Let me know if the sound bites are coming through.
We don't do that here.
Hey, if y'all hearing what's coming through, y'all can hear the sound bites. Then, matter of fact, if you hear the sound bites, give me a yeah. And if you can't hear the sound bite, then yeah, you couldn't hear it. Just say no. But anyways, let's get into it. Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days. All right, so it says, I saw in the night vision, behold, one like the Son of Man. Who is like the Son of Man? Jesus the Christ, the Messiah. That's who he's saying. The Son of Man in the likeness of him. That's who he's seen in the night visions. And he said he came to the Ancient of Days, meaning he presented himself before his Father, the Most High God of Israel. All right. The God of the whole universe, the God of everything, the one that's in charge. He came to him By the way, I see everybody got the all right, sounds in good. So all praise to the Most High. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, all right. Verse 13. They came to the Ancient of Days and brought him near before them. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So it says the kingdom that is going to be set up by our Messiah, the one that's going to be by the ruling black man who's going to be on the throne, that is a son of God, the son of the creator, the one who lived a perfect, flawless life, never failed. This one is going to have a kingdom. He's going to rule this place, and there is never going to be a successor. No one will ever overthrow him. He is in charge until the end of time, which there is no end of time. Eternity is going to go on and on forever and ever. All praise be to the Most High God. So we got to always be happy about that. All right. Oh, by the way, I got let me see, got a comment. So if I go to Revelation 2 or 3, verse 14 talks about how Jesus is a black man with a white fro and red eyes. Absolutely. The Messiah is black, looks just like our people. The Messiah is going to save and rescue the people that have been enslaved, the people that have been oppressed. And it's not the people that oppressed us that have done all these things to us. We've done it to ourselves. We sold ourselves for naught. We chose not to follow the Most High God of Israel. So the Most High God of Israel is punishing us. But that black man, that angry black man, he's going to be angry, and he's going to come back and rescue his people. All glory to the Father in heaven. And he's going to rescue not all black people. He's going to rescue all of his people that come out of Jacob's loins, the ones that actually keep the commandments, the people that follow the scriptures. If you ain't following the Bible, then you will not be saved. You will not be rescued. He is not coming to deliver those that are disobedient, those that are contrary to him. He is coming to rescue the people that love him and want to live in his world. If you don't want to live in his world and live under his rules, then he has no place for you, and you will be cast out forever and ever into outer darkness, because the only people that's going to be close to the Lord are those that want to be in the light, that are drawn to the light. John chapter 3. So all glory to the Father. Let's get on into it now. Let's go to Matthew chapter 22, verse 1. Matthew chapter 22, verse 1. And Jesus spake, and Jesus answered and spake unto them again by parables and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which made a marriage for his son. And he sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to come to the wedding, and they would not come. So there were invitations sent out. Hey, come on. I want everybody I love to come and sit with me in the great supper, in the great celebration of our taking over of the planet. That's really what's happening. But he's saying, come in here to our big, giant, what do you say? A marriage. All right. So we got a marriage ceremony. You got a whole, everybody's there to watch the bride and the groom. We're going to have a big dinner. You're going to have music, dancing, just a great time. Everybody's feasting, doing what we do, eat, drink, and be merry. Right. That's what's going to happen. He's calling people to come to this great and joyous occasion. But he said the people would not come. I want y'all to think about this. How many of y'all have heard about this amazing party that's set up? And put a one in the chat if you get invited to a party that with somebody that you love, that you care about, somebody that you know, and they got a real big house. They got, nice cars, nice everything. They got a pool in the backyard, somewhere you can enjoy being. How many of y'all would decide that you don't want to come? Put a 3 in the chat if you would not go to that party. And it's somebody also that wants you to be there. And if you would come to the party, put a 7 in the chat. If you would go to this party, put a 7 in the chat. This is where we're going. We are invited to a great party of a rich man, a nice man, a caring man, a loving man, somebody that values our time and our friendship. And he invited us to this party. All right. He wants us to show up. All right. Verse 4. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. So now he said, hey, these people that didn't come, now he said, hey, you think about this now. Hey, come to my party. Hey, I got like 6 big screen TVs. I got a PlayStation 5. I got an Xbox. Well, I think it's Xbox One. Hopefully I'm up to date. I got all this stuff. I got a projection screen outside where we can just kind of have a good time. People gonna be playing volleyball in the pool. I got the cookout going. I got all the food. I got brisket. I have everything. It's popping tonight. Everybody come through. After they would he said, come to my party. He just wanted people to come and spend time with him. Then he started telling them all the benefits, all of the things that they would enjoy about coming to this joyous celebration, this great special occasion. He's trying to sell it to him. Imagine somebody's now after they ask you to come and attend with them, which as a friend, you should want to be there anyway. But then after you ask them to attend, then you tell them all the reasons, like, here, hey, I got this for you. I got this, hey, I got nice leather couches you can come sit on. I got air conditioning. I got all these things. Matter of fact, for all my brothers, be like, hey, I got beautiful women there, for the sisters. Hey, I got some, some nice looking, brothers with good jobs, and they take care of themselves. Hey, I think you want to be there. No, so you get all of this stuff here to sell it to you, to convince you to show up to the party. Now, again, for all my people that's sitting here like, I might not want to go, I got to ask why. Why would you not want to show up to this even after they try to convince you? They try to sell it to you. Now he's going the extra mile. All right. Verse 5, Matthew 22:5. But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. So he said, made light of me. It was like, it ain't that big a deal. They don't care. It didn't even matter to them. They were apathetic. They were careless. It didn't make a difference. They was going to continue on with their lives because having him in their life did not matter. Verse 6, and the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their city. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. So these same people who didn't want to come, now all of a sudden, the people that actually wanted to be at the party, they went out and started killing them and treating them bad. So now they're like, yeah, for all the people that want to go to this party, what's wrong with you? You want to go to that party? And they murdered some of them, and they even beat some of them. All right, so they treated them awful. All right. Verse 8, then he said to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. So the people that he first asked to come, they didn't earn it. And he said, we ain't worthy, meaning you aren't qualified to be there. These people that were unqualified to be there were asked to come, and they showed they weren't qualified. Verse 9, go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So he says, go out to the place where traffic is heavy, where people frequent the area. Go out there and let them know to come to the marriage. Verse 10, so those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he saith unto him, friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. So out of all those people that are here, just call all the people and bring them all in. But then the ones that aren't chosen, he couldn't have them come in. Who's the ones that weren't chosen? The ones that really didn't want to be there. They had a dress code, and they just showed up any which way. So those people still were rejected that wanted to come to the wedding. Verse 15, then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. So after this discussion, now you got the Pharisees, and they were standing by listening. They were upset. They was in their feelings. They didn't like what he was saying. These people was on the side. Says now they are trying to plot on him. Now they're going to try to find a way to twist his words and make it seem like he said something that he didn't. Now they are trying to find a way to criminalize him. They are going to try to discredit the Messiah, what you call a smear campaign. So we got a smear campaign being set up by the Pharisees, the ones that are supposed to be sitting in the spot of the Most High God's top servants, Moses. All right, they're supposed to be teaching everybody how to follow the commandments, the instructions. They're teaching everybody, or showing everybody how to be conniving, evil little rats. That's what they're doing. Verse 16, and they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. So they're like, now they trying to butter him up. Oh yeah, see, you ain't a respecter of persons. You a good man, Jesus. We know you do the right thing. You don't care who is who. And we know you actually go into the holy scriptures, the book of the law, and you bring out the word of God. This is what you do. So now they trying to, like I said, they blowing smoke, right? They blowing smoke up him. All right. Verse 7. Tell us, therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Jesus perceived their wickedness and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said unto him, Whose is this image and superscription? So now he's like, hey, who's on here? Who do y'all see on this dollar, on this money that y'all see? All right, on these coins. Verse 21, they say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. When they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. So now what he did, he just let them know, okay, you know what? Whatever belongs to the king, give it back to him. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that he created. This, the currency, you know, the things of this world, all the things that we seek, all of the materials, the mammon of right. He said, hey, all of that stuff belongs to him anyway. You know what I'm saying? The things that belong to the Lord, they're going to return to the Lord. But whatever's his, go ahead. He can have it. Send him his money. Yeah, I'm not going to hold on to somebody else's things like that and make it seem like I got to have it. No, I ain't that big a deal. He can have his money. Verse 24 and verse 23. The same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. Now, here's a key word. Here's a key thing people got to pay attention to. It says the Sadducees who didn't believe in the resurrection, basically saying that there was not that after people die, that no one's going to go into, they're not going to live on afterwards. They're not going to have their spiritual body is not going to be resurrected. They're not going to be alive. There's going to be, what's the word we call, there's going to be no regeneration. You're not going to be regenerated in the kingdom of heaven. See, a lot of people believe they die and it's going to be over. See, the Sadducees didn't believe that. They believed that you die, it's over. They didn't believe that no one was going to return. Okay, so Christ was being tested in another way. Verse 24, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. So in the law, we understand in Deuteronomy, I think it's 21, that you're supposed to, if you die, you don't have, he says, you don't have a child, you have no kids. It says that you'll raise up seed to your brother, meaning the woman will go to the man that, you know, go to her brother-in-law, and her brother-in-law is going to impregnate her, like they tried to do with Onan, and I forgot the other boy, Judah's sons. Judah had some wicked sons, by the way, but Onan, you know, lay with her and he spilled the seed on the ground. So he ain't even, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even plant the seed in Tamar. So that's what happened. But anyways, you're supposed to, that's the law. You raise up seed to your brother. And if you don't, the woman unties you, she looses your shoe and spits on your face, something like that. So either way, spit on your face, slap you, one of the two, something like that. Either way, that's what goes on. So they're asking, hey, whose wife is she going to be? All right, because they're scoffing. They're making fun of him. All right, because they're basically trying to say, oh, well, matter of fact, let me finish reading it. Verse 25. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise, the second also, and the third unto the 7th. So this same process happened. She went to married a brother. The brother didn't give her no children. Next married another brother. Brother didn't give her no children. And so she had 7 husbands, right? She had 7 husbands, and none of them gave her seed. But either way, they came into the kingdom of heaven. So now they're saying, hey, what's going on? Verse 25. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. So it's just basically saying, having no issue, no child was made. I'm gonna jump down to verse 28. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her. So he's like, hey, who's she gonna go to? You know what I'm saying? All right, okay. She died. She was with this one. She was with this one. They were scoffing. They were trying to make fun of her because they're like, see, if there's a basically trying to say, if there is people gonna, come back to life and they're gonna be in this floating heaven, they're gonna be in this glowing place and everybody's gonna be immortal and they'll live forever. Who does she go to? That's the question they're asking. Who does she go to? See, Christ sees this and he's just like, oh, okay, I see what y'all want. Y'all trying to be funny. Y'all trying to basically say that is she gonna have multiple husbands? It's kind of what they're asking in a roundabout way. And Christina said that law is still uncomfortable with me, honestly. Hey, that law was super uncomfortable with me when I first came to truth because just the idea of it, like, me see, my brother with my wife, my brother with my wife. Those were my sentiments. I was like, no way. You know what I'm saying?
We don't do that here.
I'm straight. But again, and over time, you kind of understand, okay, if they don't have seed, if they don't have a child, I'll, I already had a child, so cool. But other than that, it's like, okay, because that woman is she married that man, the husband. She loved that man. So being that she loved that man, she's going to want that man to continue on. And the man, his duty this is the, because a lot of times too, let me go ahead and sidebar. A lot of times people talk about the whole stepbrother thing, stepdaddy. They talk about all that stuff, right? They always go to that. But when you talk about stepdaddy, you know what happens? God actually says, here, you need to be a stepdaddy to this, raise this child. Even though it's going to be your seed, I need you to raise up this child, and it's going to be your brother's seed. It's going to be recognized as your brother's child. And that's what the Lord wants you to do. So that's something that we got to understand, that the Lord actually does command us to do that right there, because as a brother, you show love to your brother. And two, you actually, the woman, she wants to, again, she never got to have a child by the man she loves. She wants that child to live on. So that's something we gotta look at as well. I don't know who Christina seen. She said, Shalom, Brother Kevin. I don't know if I didn't see. Oh, okay. Somebody, it must be somebody she knows. I don't know who that is. Hey, yeah. Hey, peace be with you, Kevin. Oh, man, I didn't say shalom to you earlier, but by the way, shalom to Yali and Christina as well. I seen they had joined. So yeah. Anyways, so back to what I'm saying. They're asking whose wife is she going to belong to? I'm gonna read it one more time. Matthew 22:28. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the seven? For they all had her. So it's like, oh, yeah, they all was with her. Who's she gonna be with? Now, here's the thing people gotta understand. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna read this first. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Romans chapter 7, verse 2. Romans chapter 7, verse 2. All right. I'll start at verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband. So it's like, hey, if the husband be dead, she's loose from the law, meaning that she is not, at this moment, she's free. She's a free agent. She's not bound to any of those men that she were married to. All right. So that's what we got to understand. When you are dead, if you know the law, then you're loose from that. You're no longer bound to your husband once your husband is dead. Now, that's another story. Say you and your husband, y'all both make it to the kingdom. The woman still, hey, I still remember my husband. She gonna come right out into heaven, like, hey, where my husband at? Where he at? And she gonna go find him. You know what I'm saying? She want to get back with him, because guess what? Even if her husband is in the kingdom of heaven, married to someone else. Well, never mind. Let me see how I can say this. Everybody's going to kingdom of heaven at the same time anyway. So we're all going, you know what I'm saying? We're all going to be there. So she still can go find him. And regardless, if a man has other women he wants to marry, hey, she can go back and find the husband that she wants. So yeah, she's just out there she can go make that choice. But more than likely, a woman's going to want to choose the man that led her to the kingdom of heaven. So she's going to find whoever was the best in that. So either way, it's her choice. So let's get back to it. Matthew chapter 22, verse 29. Jesus answered and said unto them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. See, they didn't believe that you would be, your spiritual body would be raised up into heaven. They did not believe you were going to live on for eternity. So he's like, oh, you don't believe God has the ability to do so? That's why you don't know the scriptures. And that's for all the people that don't understand the Bible on that level. Most people don't understand the Bible on the highest level because they don't believe in the power of God. They doubt that God can do whatever he wants. So when you doubt he can do whatever he wants, you doubt that the things he says is actually going to take place. All right. So that's what goes on. People aren't sure. They're not certain of that. All right. Hold on. Look, Christina said, chooses King David instead. Hey, I'm telling you, hey, man, hey, all husbands going to read that and going to think to themselves,
I should blow your ass off this push.
They go like, nah, we ain't playing that game. But no, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got King David. Who else we got? I wouldn't name a bunch of movie stars, but yeah, certain movie stars make it. I'm like, man, can't compete with that, but that's all right. All the brothers, you'll be straight. You get your lady to heaven, you'll be cool. And hey, if there are any, never mind. I ain't gonna go into that right now. Either way, yeah. Hey, nah, I know you're joking. I know you're joking because no, but that's something that a lot of men would think of. That's why you'd be kind of hope like, hey, hopefully she still do, because hey, at the end of the day, if you really think about it, you get to the kingdom of heaven. Shoot, look, Paul was celibate his whole life. I said his whole life. He was without wife that whole time. How many sisters probably like, man, I can't wait to get Paul in the kingdom. Why waiting on Paul? David, people probably like, I can't wait to see what David looked like. As a matter of fact, Solomon, he had 1,000, saying so. Yeah, a lot of certain brothers are like, man, I can't compete with that. But hey, all I know is this: I got confidence in what the scripture said. Greater works will we do than the Messiah. So if I do greater works than Messiah, I'm gonna be like, hey, you heard what he said? Man, shoot. You ain't going nowhere. Sarah, you ain't going nowhere. Laura, you ain't going nowhere. Why? How can you choose someone else? So I did greater works. And you see what the Bible said? Mine was better. Hey, so what you want to do? But all jokes aside, Christ had to say to him, like, hey, man, he says, you err not knowing the scriptures or the power of God. People lacking faith in the Bible or not trusting in what the Lord says, what it does is causes their understanding to be limited. They put a ceiling on it. It's capped off. Why is it capped off? Because you don't have absolute faith that anything in here that is said is true. Well, you don't believe anything is said is true, then your understanding can only open up so much. You're only going to understand something as much as you believe, as much as you accept it as truth. I'm like that with people that talk to me. People can talk to me about stuff, and I take all their words as gospel truth. Now, what they gonna do is they don't realize me believing what they saying is gospel truth. I understand what they tell me at first on a really high level. So when they contradict it, I'm like, oh yeah, you are full of you know what. Why? Because I believe what you say. When I believe what you say, my mind is going to accept that, and then I'm gonna see you, and I'm gonna view you. My perception of you will be as you've told me. And when you operate in a way that's contrary to what you told me, then it's gonna be something. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna be looking at you like, oh, okay. With the side eye. All right. Now let's continue on. Matthew chapter 22, verse 29. Jesus answered and said unto them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. So let me read the rest. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. Again, the people that resurrect and come into the kingdom of heaven, they're alive. They're no longer. So you ain't have to worry about, for one, they're not going to die in the next life. They'll be here forever. Two, again, she's not going to be given in marriage because she's loose from the law of her husband. And that's just pretty much going to be that. So we'll still operate in godly fashion. And by the way, it is not disannulling marriage. There will be marriages in the kingdom of heaven. People are still going to they're going to reproduce. We're going to have children. All those things are still going to go. Just in case you're not sure, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 26. In fact, I'll start at, verse 25 first. Ezekiel 37, 25. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be prince over them. Jesus Christ is going to rule over them. Verse 26. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. So if we're going to have children's children and be multiplied, there is going to be marriage. There's going to be reproduction. So for all my people to think there's going to be no reproduction, again, I don't know what Bible you've read, but that's not in there. That's not what Christ was saying when he says neither get married or given in marriage. He's not talking about people dying and being given to the brother. Nobody dies anymore. The resurrection, they're going to live forever. They're going to be that people didn't trust God's ability to cause people to live eternally. They didn't think it could happen. So many things that they were scoffing at when they were asking a question, it wasn't a genuine question. It was very disingenuous. Who's wife is she going to be? Because he died and he died and he died. So they trying to poke holes in the fact that we're going to live forever, that we're going to be resurrected in the kingdom of heaven. That's all they were doing. They were trying to find a way to scoff. All right. If y'all understand what I'm saying, please put a 3 in the chat. If you are confused, then say I'm confused and ask the question that you're confused about. But if you understand what Christ meant when he was talking about that, saying they don't understand the scriptures and they don't trust God and all of this stuff, and what the Pharisees, the Sadducees were doing, then let it be known. All right. Hopefully I do. All praise to the Most High. Sarah Christina said they understand. All right. And Katrina did too. Everybody don't understand. All sisters, ask them. Nah, but let's continue on. Matthew chapter 22, verse 31. Verse 33. I'm sorry. Matthew 22, 33. And when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. So they was amazed at the words, that the wisdom and understanding Christ was bringing out. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. See, he said he put them to silence because they came out scoffing, and he just, in a nice way, he elaborated and articulated a particular topic, understanding to them where they were dumbfounded. He articulated like, all right, y'all heard this? And he said he put them to silence, made them shut up. They had to be quiet because all that scoffing, he made them look stupid. All right. And Christ did that often. He always made the people look stupid that was trying to actually confound him. Matthew chapter 22, verse 35. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? So now he said they're trying to test him. What's the most important question? So watch this, verse 37. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. So now here's what he's doing. A lot of people don't even understand the context of this, because they'll go into the great 2 commandments of Jesus, and they use it to not keep laws. But you got to understand the conversation surrounding it and what Jesus was doing, what he was trying to explain, and how he was also trying to put this person to silence as well, because he's a lawyer. Now, sometimes lawyers think they can trip up those people that are very, very fluent in the word of the Most High. And there is nothing you can do. So lawyers understand, oh, here, you know what? I can use this against them. I can use this. And they're always going to try, but you can't trip up Christ. The Messiah is that he is what you call the ish with the word of the Most High, because he is the word of the Most High. So he came and asked him a question, trying to test him, trying to get him to say something that was off. Because remember in verse 15, it says the Pharisees took counsel to entangle him in his talk. So first you had the people come and asking him about Caesar. And then you had the Sadducees coming and asking him about what? About the resurrection. And then you got a lawyer coming to him talking about, hey, what's the most important commandment? So it's a series of things taking place. And I'm actually just now, honestly, while I'm even going over this with y'all, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this is the series of questions. That's what they was doing. They had like an endurance match for all my people that play Mortal Kombat back in the day. Mortal Kombat 1, I know. You had to fight the endurance matches. You beat one person, and then the little puff of smoke explodes, and the next person come in, and you got to beat them too. And then you got to beat the third person. See, Christ had a question endurance match. They try to sit down, and they try to run him through the ringer. They try to trip him up. They try to get him. You're like, man, somebody gonna get him. Let's send the first group in. All right, let's send the second group. Then they brought the third one. The third one still tried, and they try to come up here with this, hey, what's the best commandment? So when people come in here talking about the great 2 commandments of Jesus, understand what's going on. They're trying to get him to say something wrong. They're trying to discredit him. Again, as I said, the smear campaign was on. So they asked him, hey, what's the great commandment of the law? So he said, hey, love God with everything you got. Now, if you actually have sense, if you are intelligent, you're going to understand loving God with all your heart and all your mind, and basically with like a completion of trusting God in everything and having faith in him and being willing to do whatever he says. You're going to follow all the commandments. He's really saying, keep all the commandments. That's all Jesus was saying. Oh, you want to know what to do? Love God, whatever. If you love God, everything will fall into place. That's basically what he was saying. Love him, trust in him, believe in him, follow him, and everything is going to fall into place. All right. Exactly. Christina, yes. The first question on the Ezra test. Yep. Exactly right.
Exactamundo, dude.
All right. Let me read on. And the second, Matthew 22:39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. And he reiterates, all the laws actually come from this. He says, hang on it. They are connected. They all are branched off of it. If you have a tree and you got the laws, the tree trunk, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, the 10 commandments, everything branches off those two things. Love God with everything, and you're going to do everything God says. You're going to wear fringes. You're going to keep the feast days. You're going to eat the right foods. You're going to do the things that you might not think, that you're not going to think of unless you actually follow the scriptures, unless you feel like, unless you're tied to God. You're going to make sure your garments are 100%. You're going to follow these instructions that have nothing to do with anybody else but your relationship with God. Keeping the Sabbath, not cooking, not working, not buying on the Sabbath day. These are the things that's tied to the Lord. All right. So this, loving him with all your heart, you're going to do that. And then he says a second is like it, like unto it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Why would you do that? Because these are the expectations that come from God. So God tells you how to love these people. He lets you know how to interact with them, how to deal with them in a civil manner. You follow these things. This is how you're going to actually follow the great commandments. Love your neighbors yourself. You'll love your neighbors yourself because you're going to do what you will want done for you. Why? Because you want that connection with God. So you want your brothers and sisters with a connection with God. Simple as that. If you understand what I'm saying, put a 7 in the chat. If you ain't sure, put a 2. It works for me. Let's continue on. Matthew chapter 22, verse 41. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, what think ye of Christ? Whose son is he? They say unto him, the son of David. So they say, hey, what do you think about the chosen one? It's funny because, hey, you know what's funny? He's talking about himself. What do you think about the chosen one? What do you think about that one guy, Joshua, or as we understand, Jesus of Nazareth? What do you think about Christ? The anointed guy, the one that was chosen as king, because that's what Christ is, the anointed one. What do you think about this anointed guy? And he says, whose son is he? And they said, hey, the son of David. Verse 43. Now watch this. Now he's still messing with him. Hey, man, hey, Jesus Christ, he a real one. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Messiah wasn't playing no games. Verse 43. He said unto them, how then doth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If David then called him Lord, how is he his son? So now he's messing with him because they try to look at the end of all of their testing, at the end of their attempts to smear him, to discredit him, to make him look like he was not actually a teacher of the Lord, an understanding man of the scriptures. They did all of these things to actually cause people to stop listening to him, to stop following, because that's what all people try to do. When you got haters, you know what I'm saying, people that win at the play a haters ball, you know what they're going to do? They're going to try to find a way to make it look like you don't know what you're talking about. So after that, now he comes to them. Hey, y'all ask me these questions. Let me ask you something. After all of your tests, I got something for you. What think ye? And that's what he says. Hey, what think ye? What do you believe? What's your opinion on this? And the thing is, there's an answer. He said, what do you think, though? And so he said, if verse 45, if David then called him Lord, how is he his son? Which is going to stump pretty much anybody. Verse 46, and no man was able to answer him a word, neither durst any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. You know why they asked him no questions? Because they really didn't want to learn from him. That's why when you talk about people having disingenuous questions, that's a disingenuous question. That's one that's not real. People really don't want to know the answers. They really don't want you to guide them. They don't want to learn from you because they think they better than you. Somebody think they better than you or think they on a higher level than you. They're not really going to try to learn from you. They're just going to try to make you look stupid so they can have an excuse not to follow what you say, not to listen to you, to do things their way. That's all they was trying to do. These people were what you call demons, devils, wicked assholes. That's what they are. And they don't want to do what the Most High God wants. They didn't want to do those things. They never listened to Moses from jump. They didn't listen to anybody. They listened to themselves. But they ain't asking no more questions. You know why? Because they weren't trying to learn from him. And they couldn't test him no more. They couldn't entangle him in his talk no more because he was way smarter than them. He was 30 steps ahead of them. Wasn't no way you could surpass him. See, and he didn't need to really think about that question. All he got the word of God with him. He got the wisdom of the Most High. Nothing can beat that. When you got that wisdom, you got the understanding, you have that knowledge, there's no knowledge that can surpass it. All praise to the Most High that I'm glad the Most High God has even given me a piece of that knowledge, because being able to have this understanding, again, and it allows me to not only navigate, through life with the correct way, but just to be appreciative of what most people have no clue about. You know what I'm saying? To have all the understanding, to have this wisdom, this is worth more than anything I could imagine. Wouldn't trade it for nothing. All praise be to the Most High God. Yeah. I pray y'all gain some understanding today. Like I said, this is Matthew chapter 22 in the Gospels. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's evening, or like rest of y'all's afternoon, which will be evening after that. Love y'all, Israel. Grace and peace be unto the 12. Shalom.